I was hearing some weird things about this, like game design wise. Capcom's taken some risks. Like, oh wow, they're getting sort of risky with Viper. They're moving in different directions. That's sort of cool. Hold up, let's watch this video really quick. Character that confuses opponents with crafting mobility and overwhelms them with an offense that incorporates her high jump. Old school. Damn, what is that default pose, though? I think she looks awesome, but in the very first trailer, her having the Night Wolf, you know? Her having that default pose is so weird, dude. She looks like she's gonna fall over. She's like, whoa, you know? Looks like she's on like the ground below her is uneven. She can array devices at her disposal, let her attack from a distance and close the gap quickly with moving attacks. These mark her as a character with deadly offense. Cool. Yeah. She is able to dictate the pace of the fight by incorporating feints and high jumps into her offense. Yeah. Electric shock to an opponent using a special gadget hidden in gloves. Strength of the input changes. Ooh, that doesn't go nearly as far. Okay. Ow. Heavy version makes you nice. That is her go-to anti-air. Always has been. Wow, it's a good hit confirmed too. Okay. Every version can transition into Tracer Combination. It will use a stock of drive gauge, but you'll be rewarded with more damage. Use it when you know you'll hit. I wonder if it leads to good Oki, too. Interesting. I like this. You know what? I'm just going to throw it out. Because this is, like, not a full commitment to being an EX move. I kind of like that. I think that's sort of a cool idea of having your normal specials extend a little bit for the half consumption of drive gauge that an EX would. I think that's sort of cool. It just allows special moves to be more creative, more application of situations, different combos, everything. Perform a feint, move being performed, yeah. Covers more ground than the light medium versions, making it easier to use. Yeah, but is it as crazy as the Ultimate Marvel 3 one? Travels further than the medium version with less risk on top of additional damage. Consume with your drive gauge handler on how to use it effectively. Your drive gauge handler. Scorchy Bundle with a flaming kick and use special gadget hit. Light, medium, and heavy versions all travel varying distances. Ascertain the distance between you and you can perform this move. Okay, so I'm wondering if this cross-ups naturally. Does it cross up naturally on crouchers? You won't be counterattacked, even if it's blocked. So use it in conjunction with regular moves. Okay, so it's safe on block. Yeah, and this is the same thing. You can use like a little bit more drive gauge to extend this stuff. This is cool, dude. The attack hits. Knuckle Pursuit will combo naturally, making it a fitting end. It looks like that leads to maybe good Oki as well. Maybe. If it's blocked, follow up with double burn. That you can move first and continue. Oh, that might be plus on. That's plus on block. Wow. Leap forward when hitting the opponent multiple times. Comes out faster, has more range, better combo potential. Aerial burn. Burning kick perform in the air. Useful for the momentum of your jump to launch into an offensive. Right. Light version drops you down. Medium and heavy versions maintain the momentum. To truly screw around with your opponent's radar. Dang. The mental stack. I'm surprised they didn't use that term. Performing the heavy version immediately after a high jump can be potent. Ambush opponents from afar or unleash it at close range. Yeah, it's almost like a Tiger Knee version of it. There you go. There's the dirty stuff. It descends with the same trajectory as the heavy version, but with more damage output. Use it when you need to squeeze out every last drop of damage. Yeah? send shockwaves through the ground using a gadget in Sea Viper's gloves. Useful for controlling space and in combos. Can also be cancelled losing high jump. Yeah. Okay. Right. The big bounce, dude. I wonder, this has to be a mid, right? It's got to be a mid. Comes so fast for making a good for surprise attacks and comboing from medium attack. That's a cool looking combo. It's cool looking. So this is after the cancel, right? High jump consumes 1 stock of drive gauge, could be used in a blink of an eye. Use it after a normal attack or seismic hammer to give you the kind of mobility other fighters would die for. Well, from seismic hammer into high jump, then quickly unleash an aerial burn kick. Then again, combo if it hits. Continue the attack if it's blocked. Yeah. High jump can be activated directly after all normal attacks. Expect crouching heavy attack too tough. Wow. High jump can be active. Well, go back, dude. What are we doing? Wow. Are we fully acknowledging that you might not be able to play this character? That you just can't play every character? Good. Good. Okay. If there's one thing that I think has been that I don't think is a good thing for like the future of fighting games, is that it sometimes feels like every character is for everybody, right? Like anyone's gonna be able to play this. Not that like characters are getting too easy. Yeah, Dhalsim exists, don't get me wrong. Dhalsim is a character that exists, but like allowing characters to be genuinely different, right? Allowing shit to be weird, you know? And just giving characters enough spice and enough tools and attributes that are different from one to the next, right? Do you mean too accessible? I don't even... Man, do I mean that? I think the issue is that what accessibility can be in games is to make everything sort of like play the same. And I think accessibility in games is great when used the right ways, right? When you have accessibility being like, man, I can just jump into one character and play like all the other characters the same way. Yeah, that makes things feel a little bit too streamlined and homogenous, you know, in that way. Characters just feel too samey, you know? So to me, I think they push it into, it can go a bit too far, right? It can, I think accessibility is awesome, but I think it can make for a less interesting game in the long run. Like, for example, a lot of the mechanics in games like Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 has made things feel a little homogenous because many characters play sort of the same with mechanics that are utilized in sort of the same way throughout many characters, you know? So anyway, acknowledging this, is this too hard for you? No one said this game was going to be easy. Time to get more training in. Cool. That's cool. You know what? If we're just acknowledging the fact that we're going to have characters that are like a little weirder and harder to use, I think it also makes sense that like sometimes things will be easy at a low level and characters will have a lot of sauce of really hard shit. And it's like, but I want to do the really hard shit. Then just practice, dude. Like, there are levels to things, man. Right? There are levels to characters. There are levels to things, you know? That you're allowed to grow. And I think what can be kind of rough about many fighting games in a very accessible modern design is that, like, I want to grow. I want to feel an obvious growth of things that I cannot do now, but I will be able to do later. You know, that feels nice. Does not feel good to be doing like most things in the first couple days. Produce a protective barrier in front of you. Absorb an opponent's strike. Oh, focus attack. Yeah, that's a different visual. Has armor projectiles, which means you can take a hit and return the favor. Cool. You can dash forward while holding the attack, let you close the gap. Is that the same as her forward dash? Is it the same forward dash she has normally? Wow. Damage is pumped up. Looking for a chance to punish counter. Get return on investment. Cool. God damn, this costume looks so sick. The pose, not so much, but the costume looks great. Yeah, this is strictly utility, right? She's got the burning feet, like Ken had in Street Fighter 5. Fire heals. Follow-up attack while some burnout. Cool. She looks like a Turk. Good call. That makes the use of Sea Viper's gadgets a highly versatile move. That was like her Ultra 2, back and forth. Ah, I see. EX goes right into it. Hard Luck Rejector, level 3. Dude, I almost wish she was just like standing up, right? I almost wish they went full old school SNK with her, where like her pose would just be her like back up, right? Like back up, like walking around just normally, and then she just like Vanessa or some shit. Yeah, where like she doesn't lean into this like fighting stance. She literally walks around straight up with good posture, like Vice or some shit like that. Like, does Manon do that? Yeah, Manon does that in some way. She definitely has this like elegance to her. But like, it would be sick if fucking Viper like walked around like she was Yamazaki or some shit and had like a hand in the pocket and just and then just like walking back. Like, fuck, dude, that'd be so neat. That'd be so fucking cool if she had like just completely comfortable with the situation that like a hand is in her pocket or some shit as she's walking around. God damn, like what? Go on. Anyway, my rant is over. Yeah, I want her to be like the girl K, right? The female Capcom equivalent of K, of K-Dash. Like, come on. That would be so fucking cool. The completely nonchalant aspect of the character, yeah. Guess who does that very well? Guess which character does that very well in this game already? JP does, dude. JP has a stance that is like that. And then he enters all of his fancy bullshit, you know? I think JP has that very well, but he's obviously like in a different way. He's obviously like regal about himself. And Viper could be professional about her nonchalant starting default pose. Anyway, it's not that way. I'll stop complaining now. I just think her pose is weird. God damn. In every other situation outside of that default pose thing, she's so sick looking, dude. What the hell? She's so sick looking. Yeah, her critical art's okay. You know, was that her CA again? It didn't look that special. Oh, she gets punched. What the hell? She gets punched and then counter punched. What the hell? That's weird. Yeah, that one's a little confusing. Okay, I kind of missed that on the first time I saw it. I don't love that. God damn, dude, so sick. So sick. You think the issue is that the hand in the pocket would be like, she's nonchalant, isn't she usually very serious? No, Viper is like, she's a professional, but she's a professional where it's like, you guys aren't even a challenge. You know, like she's sort of like bored, like just time to get the job done. She's super cocky. To me, she's not like, I'm very intense about what I'm doing. That would have been like Abel, right? Abel was a character that was super intense about what he's doing, and that intensity carried into his character and his fighting style and all that kind of stuff. Viper wasn't that way. Viper was like, it's just another day in the office, let's get this over with. Like, to me, that fits like the cocky ass, like sort of like straight shot pose, hand in pocket. You're gonna hit me or what? You gonna try to hit me? Like, type of shit, you know? I still think she looks really cool. I think my biggest criticism is obviously her default pose, and I think I would have loved if she was almost more hovering in a super professional, very cocky pose. I think I would have